Hi everyone, it's Nancy. I have a new project. This wasn't my idea. I've seen some other ladies do it, so it's not my idea. But a few weeks ago, my daughters and I went vintage shop hopping, and I came across a nice stack of vintage sheet music from like the 1920s, 30s, 40s. And so I picked some up and I made like a sweet little journal with music sheet. And depending on the name of the song or the design on it, I kind of went with that as the theme. And it's not, it's not a journal that's going to last forever. It's made out of sheet music. It is pretty sturdy. But you know what? It's a nice journal to like carry with you in your purse or in your bag or on vacation, or if you wanted to make something and give it to a friend for a birthday. It's just something easy, fun. It's not too involved. And I thought maybe if you wanted to see how I make them, I was going to show you. So this is a finished one, so I'm just going to show you this one. This one here, all I have is some pretty seam binding that kind of goes with that. So I just tie it around there. And I'm going to open it up this way and show you that here is the name of the song is Sunflower, and it's got that beautiful sunflower on it. It is a little longer that I'll show you the pocket. So, and sunflower is my favorite flower next to lavender. I love lavender and sunflower, so I had to make this one to show you. So what I did, well, first let's just do a flip through of this, okay? So I'll just do a flip through and then we'll get started on something. So here's the inside. Now I want to keep the integrity of the music sheet, so I just took some fabric that I had and made a strip, and I made a ruffle and glued it on in here, so it kind of protects this edge. You can see I did sew around everything, and I left all the music in there because then it makes it substantial. It's not thin. And then there's I folded this bottom part of it to make a pocket. Okay, so let me show you again. Let's go in here, and I had a vintage Get Well card, and well, it's not vintage, but it's an older, probably from the 70s Get Well card. So I just love the colors of this. So, and it stuck out a little more than the sheet music, but you know what? With the ruffle on it, it protects it, it extends it, and it's fine. It's fine to me because I didn't want to cut the card, and you'll see why. So I'll have to list below the digitals that I used for this particular one, but I just I made a rose gold paper clip, a little curl on there, put some of that seam binding on there. This one here, I just put this cute saying here, and when it's a trifold card, so what I did was I just smushed some Tim Holtz ink on here, so you have all this for journaling here, and I keep that closed with this paper clip. And then here's the other side. The summer's flower is to the summer sweet Shakespeare, and it's just so pretty. And then, I left a lot of the pages blank just for journaling, for writing your thoughts, whatever. We don't have to decorate every single page. Sometimes I feel, and maybe you do too, sometimes I feel like, oh, I've got to put something on every page, otherwise it's blank. But you know what? Sometimes the journals are just too busy. For me, sometimes I just like a simple journal with some blank pages that you can just ponder or clip poems to, or little sayings or cards. So I think it's just a calm, sunny journal. It's just calm. So this is a piece of paper from like a vintage botanical book, and I just smushed some paint on there. This here is beautiful. This is an actual page from a Helen Steiner Rice book, and it's got a beautiful poem on here about someone cares. It's so pretty. And that bird, I just had to put this in here, and it had a little tear on the edge because it is old, so I just took some of my faux vintage tape and put it there, and I love the way that looks. And here's part of my digital. I used some digital in here, and then on this side here I used some of the ephemera from the kit, and I made it like a tuck, and I just did some more smooshing on paper, and then just made it, you can write on both sides actually, so I just folded it up and tucked it in there. You can tuck anything you want in there. So there's that. And then this, I remember, this is the tea bag digital kit from luiseHEINZL, and I printed that on vellum. I love this kit so much. So I printed it on vellum, and I love that you can see through it, especially when you write here. You'll be able to kind of see writing behind here. So that's nice. And some tea-dyed, coffee-dyed paper I made. And then on this page here, I have another one of my paper clips. And what I did on this page was I made a little, like a fold over. So this part here, I took a piece of the vellum and I made a little notepad with some coffee dyed paper. And then on the other side, I took one of the, this is the Monet, this was part of the kit, sewed it on there, and you could even journal on there. So what I did was I just put it on over the page, like over the top of the page, and then put it down with a paper clip like that. And then here's the other side of a page. And then what I did here on watercolors, I'm learning watercolor. I'm playing around. I'm by no means anywhere near anything doing my watercolor, but I'm enjoying it and I do love it. So I painted a sunflower on here, and this is watercolor paper. And then this paper here was dyed. I'll list the shop below. I can't think of it off my top of my head right now. But anyway, I took a piece of watercolor. I painted this sunflower on here, and I took a strip of paper and lined each side, smooshed some paint in the middle, some of the Tim Holtz ink, I mean. And then on the ties here, I just punched some flowers and put them in the middle, which I think is sweet. And then on this side, I stenciled with a Tim Holtz stencil, made a little pocket here. And then I just put some pieces of ephemera in here. So I did that. Let me get that in there. I like the little leaf hanging over the side. Here's the other side of a page. And then on this side, I took a piece of the paper and glued it on, made a tuck, and I have like a vintage receipt, a bank receipt, and another piece of ephemera. And then on here, a coffee dyed paper, there's a little tab. I put a bee charm on there because bees love sunflowers, and I love bees too. Here's the other piece of the tea bag vellum that I printed, and then I put one of the sayings, turn your face to the sun and the shadows follow behind you. And then here I made a tuck. I put a little strip of that fabric again, another piece of ephemera that you can write on, so that's a tuck there. And then here, now here's the other piece of the Helen Steiner Rice page. So I sewed it in there, and what I did was I took one of these butterflies, I don't know, it might be a Tim Holtz butterfly actually, and I glued the tip on the edge of the page here, and I glued the tip of the butterfly right here. So, and then I just took, I think this was a free printable part. I'm not, this was from another shop. I think it was a freebie. I'm not sure about that. But anyway, I have a lot of sunflower paper. So, and what I did was I folded it in half for journaling, and it's a tuck. So the butterfly is like a belly band, I should say, with the edge of this paper. And here's the other side of the botanical paper and more coffee dyed paper. And here's the back of the card. See, it was a get well card. But you know what? I don't care if it says that. I think it's just so beautiful, and the saying is beautiful, and it makes me smile, you know? And then on this side here, on the back of the card, I smushed some more paint. I put a piece of ephemera I had here as a tuck here. And then I have a few more pieces that I'm tucking in there. And then in the back here, I made the pocket, so I put another piece of ephemera here. And then, see, you could fit a lot in there as long as you don't sew the top part. We only sew the bottom. So I have a piece of another ephemera card here. And then I made a tag with this beautiful lady cutting her sunflowers. It says, hidden inside every flower are seeds of imagination. Destiny and Future Dreams. And I backed it with coffee dyed paper, sewed around it. So that's another big journaling card there. And that just gets tucked in. And see, I didn't cover up the music by no means. I just want to be able to see how old that music sheet is. And then that's it, you see. And the back of it is pretty because it's got that sunflower on it. I stitched in the signature with a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. And also you can see that on the creases where I creased it, I put cello tape, a piece of clear, not Scotch tape, because Scotch tape has that frosted look. So make sure you get the clear cello tape. It's the tape that you would use to make your faux vintage tape with the alcohol ink. So I just put that over there, over the crease. And you know what? It's a nice, the cover, leaving all the music intact inside. It's a pretty thick cover. So that is how I made this journal. And kind of going with the theme of the music itself. And it's so pretty. I just love it. I'm real happy with this. So I'll just get you started on the cover. Let me show you what I did here. So I have another sheet here. Now this one, let me just get this out of the way here. All right. So I have another piece of music. Now you can see most of the music sheets have the cover and an extra sheet inside, okay? So here's the cover, and there's an extra sheet inside. So like I said, I leave that all intact. They're almost around the same size, give and take between a half inch or an inch. So what I would do is, first of all, get one that's, I mean, they're pretty delicate. They're not, well, I'm not going to say they're delicate, because really when you hold this, it's really thick. So you don't want to get one that's shredding, although I did get a couple that are kind of ripped here, but you know what? You can always fix that. So this one is in pretty good shape, I have to say. See, there's no tears or anything here, and I love how this looks, and I love this cover. So the first thing I do is I take it and I measure. Now this one here is like 12 inches, okay? So I think the back pocket is good at 2.5. And so this is going to be the front. It's going to go like this, okay? So the first thing I want to do, and you can use a scoreboard if you have, I have a scoring on my cutter here. So I'm going to, because this is going to be the pocket in the back here, I'm going to measure this at 2.5. Line it up at 2.5, and I'm going to gently give it some scoring, the whole thing, just going back and forth a few times, okay? So say this is 12 inches, the whole thing, so 2.5 off leaves me 9 and what did I, 2.5, and it's 12, so I took 2, so that leaves me, I'm sorry, gosh, 9.5, it leaves me 9.5, so half, divide 9.5 in half, so that's 4 3/4, right? So now from this fold, actually it doesn't matter, but I'm going to turn it this way. I'm going to go 4 3/4 here for the cover, because 4 3/4 is 9.5, right? Hope so. And I'm going to gently go back and forth on this one here, okay? All right, so now what we're going to do, let me put this aside before I knock it down. I hope everybody's having a really good day. So I'm going to gently find that fold, that's the pocket, and I'm going to gently crease it first, make sure it looks good, and then I'm going to take my other fold, find it, where's that at? And gently crease on that, and they're not cracking. The paper is not cracking, even though it's a vintagey old. Let me get my bone folder here, and you're going to gently go over it with your bone folder. See, it's not even cracking. It's really nice. And I'm going to go over this one here. Okay, like that, right? So this is going to be the cover. Here's the back, which is so cute. And then the pocket, right? Okay, the next thing we're going to do is turn it to the cover. And we're going to get our sellotape out. And we're going to cover the seams, the creases. And I want you to go a little bit past. Rip off some tape. And what I'm going to do is just kind of eyeball. Hold on. Stuck. Careful, 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 careful. Careful. Sorry. Okay. Oof. You don't want to get that stuck in the wrong place. So I'm going to just eyeball it here. And I'm going to try to get it in the middle as best I can. Like that. And you really don't see it, you know, but it does reinforce it. Like that. And we're going to do the, and I still have an end sticking out on both sides. So let's do this one here. And about there. And I'm going to stick it to the table now so I don't screw this up. And I'm going to, you know what, let me turn it around so I can do this better here. Okay. And I'm going to eyeball it and put it down like that. See, it just reinforces it. I think it looks nice. It just adds to the vintage look of it. All right, so now we're going to pull that up. We're still going to, oh, I got a little, I didn't want it to fold over yet. Okay, now we're going to crease it, and then we're going to gently just kind of fold the tape in. Don't press it down yet. Till we're going to gently crease these again. Sometimes it doesn't want to lay right, so you might have to cut it, but the tape, excess tape, but that looks good there. And let's try this one here. Okay, looks good, perfect. So you can gently just go over that and crease it again like that, see? Okay, now after you do that part, what we're going to do, and you know, if you really need to sew this. So what I did was I did a straight stitch. I think I had my stitch length on 275, 275, and then I stitched all the way around the whole music with all of it intact in there. So stitch all the way around, and then fold this back part in. Make sure you have your cover correctly. After you stitch all the way around, fold this tuck in, and I put my zigzag on a 4.0, and I zigzag just across the bottom here, a little bit past, just zigzag across, and that's going to be our tuck here. So I'll show you one I did already. This one here. Look at this one. The lady in red in Caliente. Isn't that fun? And look at, it's got this beautiful lady here and mariachis here, it looks like here. And isn't that fun? And look at the music, see? So it's all in here. So I stitched, if you look, I have the tape on, I stitched all the way around, folded the tuck part back in, and then zigzagged across here, okay? And what I did was, I just took my glue and put over the stitch lines here. I just put a little glue to hold the threads in there, you know, and I did a little bit over here too, so it's not going to come out or go anywhere. That's what I did, just put a little glue over the stitching, and that's it. And then you're ready now to pick your papers to put on the inside. Now, the one thing I didn't do, let me just put a paper clip here. This one's going to have a nice Hispanic theme, so I'm excited to do this one on camera with you, which we will. Let me see. I like the pages that I have here. It's a really nice journal, and it's got ephemera in here. So let me see. I have a card in here. So that's one. Well, actually, that's kind of two because it's double. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I would say, you know, because like this card is really thick and my watercolor paper is thick. So 2, 4, 2, yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I would put like 10 pages, I think. That would be enough. So that, you know, fold it up, that gives you like 40 sides. So, and to me, that's a nice little chunky journal. Without getting too chunky, it's a good journal. And we don't want to fill it up too much, because really you just want it for writing and just, you know, your thoughts or whatever you want to do. Okay, and it's cute. It's just so cute. So yeah, if you have any music paper, you can prep your cover, and then in the next video I'll show you what pages, what papers I have to put in my for my signature. And like I said, you only need about 10, so it's not, you know, it's not really involved. So just, and you know, with all the freebies out there that all these wonderful ladies in the journal community, they've given so much from their heart, you know, in the free digitals and that. So if you are like me and I collect them, I bet you could gather a few of those up for yourself to make your signature. And look and see if you have any you know, cards, like even cards from the dollar store are really pretty. I find a lot of nice ones there. So just look in your stash, but you know, if you can make your cover, go ahead and get your cover done, and I'll see you in the next video, and we'll get going on our vintage music sheet journal. Okay, have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.